All right, next part of the story. The feedback on the board doesn't look right. Shouldn't we be receiving naught but high praise? It wasn't like this before. Quite unexpected, yes. I suspect foul play. Fortunately, our boss has, in his wisdom, prepared a contingency plan. Well, of course he has. Why else do you think he's the boss? Maybe that has the most money to start?
Arbon! Alper! Is Lavirin? He's got something for us, apparently.
Ah, right on time. Here comes the contingency now. What contingency? Well, that's you. That's what the boss said, and he's not here right now. So let us explain. Just a short explanation, once again. During the last 2 days, we received the results of the Champion Duelist plan to the... We released the results of the Champion Duelist plan to the public. We've also started pre-orders that will allow people to pay half the price as a deposit and thus qualify for early access. We also place an evaluation column, that is to say, the message board at the door of our store, upon which people could leave their profuse praises. This is what you call building hype. Just as the boss expected, our store really did get very popular, but very few people placed pre-orders. The amount of praise left in the other column was also lamentably low.
You lack sincerity.
This,
Where's the eternal quality control? That? Get with the times.
such are the reviews we've gotten.
Looks like the market wasn't quite what you expected, huh?
I fear things are not so simple. We have a saying around here that where there's smoke, there's fire. That is to say something never arises from nothing. Where there's smoke, there's fire is not just a saying around here. It's just a saying. In general. In other words, someone is spreading rumors. Baseless, scurrilous, yeah, I don't know that word. Rumors that smear us. That smear us irresponsibly. That irresponsibly invent disparaging friction and defamation fabrications. He just wants to say big words for the sake of saying big words. I don't like that. The boss is sure that his brother is the only one who can be behind the smear campaign. A few horologies has the most to be worried about if this plan succeeds after all.
So, what do you want to do? Hire us to smear them right back?
Lady Furina above. How could you ever think such a thing? Our boss is Karen's older brother after all. Or Karan's. I want to say Karan just because of Karan Butler in the NBA. Like he's not in the NBA anymore. It's been a long time. But it was pronounced Karan and it was spelled exactly like this. I'm going to go with Karan. Karan's eldest brother after all. Even if they might stoop to such low and vulgar means, we will defeat them fair and square. That doesn't seem like how Karan functions though. Exactly. Only this way can the elder brother reform his wayward little brother. What are we needed for in that case? To get them to reveal what they mean by sincerity and internal quality control, of course.
Reveal what now?
Is it not fair? And is Fontaine not the nation of fairness?
That's not what fairness means.
Our boss said that since everyone seems to think that the other party's packaging has been done with sincerity, we should keep pace with them. You mean being sincere? That should have been the goal from the start. We shall package our champion duelists as they package adventurers. Adding that to our wealth of data will guarantee us a comeback victory.
Packaging? Nah, they just turned an adventurer's tale into a toy. That's all.
Oh, that must be it. Please, ask them what it is. That story must be the packaging we speak of. I, too, have heard a little something. It seems that while Karan was drunk, he accidentally let slip that this toy was made due to a certain person. Bennett. Imagine what the grand tale they must have shared to inspire such words from him.
Huh? Really? You know, MC, I'm suddenly curious as to what that story might be. Why don't we try going back and asking?
Oh, will you? Will you? Oh, splendid, splendid. We shall leave this in your capable hands then, Miss Paimon, Mr. MC. I wonder what the heck the story Bennett told was. Now will we be able to see what the story is? Are we involved in that story in any way? Let us see. Hi, Karan. Hello again, dear customers. How have you been? Have you tried out the adventure toy, by the way?
Hey there, Karan. Actually, we've got some things we want to consult you about, and yeah, it's about the toy.
Ah, a happy coincidence then. I enjoy those, like a fortuitous opportunity to nap, or just happening to have enough more to buy what you like to. Ask away. I'd like to hear the story behind this toy.
That's right. We've heard that you base this toy on someone. That's got to be a adventurer who's the star of this tale, right?
I see. So that's your question. Well, that adventurer did indeed leave a deep impression on me. I met an adventurer in Springvale when I was about to leave Mondstadt. It appeared that he had messed up some sort of meal delivery commission. Sounds like Bennett. Apparently, he had encountered several waves of monsters on the way there. And not only had he missed the timing, but the food had also been bumped about. Knowing a thing or two about cooking, I helped him make a new serving.
Well, that was nice of you.
Well, but that's not all. You might find it hard to imagine. That one attempt at cooking resulted in all manner of accidents. The firewood got wet, a big hole got gouged in the bottom of the pot, and while I was plating up, I was hit by some flying stones out of nowhere. One of them even bounced onto my head. Now that one really hurt. Well, the job did eventually get done. I bet with a complaint from the customer that they had cracked a tooth on a stone while eating. Lady Farina above. Surely it wasn't the stone that hit us on the head. Was this adventurer's name Bennett? That was his name? Wait, do you two know him as well? Interesting fellow, that one. Later, he took me to all sorts of rarely visited places in Mondstadt to show his thanks. It was a pretty rough journey, but the uncommonly beautiful sights made it worth the while. Can we go back and focus on the dude that broke his tooth on the stone in the food? One, how big was this stone? Because when I think stone, I think of something that, like, make a circle with your thumb and index finger. That's how big I imagine a stone to be. So which I'm imagining whatever food was delivered and being eaten wasn't a sandwich. It was something that you need like a spoon to eat with, like a stew or something. Granted, we don't know what it is. I would imagine they would have seen the stone. And if they did eat the stone, because maybe it was smaller and it was something that could fit in a spoon, and they took a bite and broke a tooth, I feel like that's a lawsuit. Granted, it's Mondstadt, the free land, but still, it's a broken tooth, and I would want somebody to pay for my dentistry, personally. I would have taken him for a travel enthusiast had he not told me that he had discovered those places by losing his footing during adventures, or getting lost, or from getting lost. Yeah, it all sounds like Bennett. On the day of my return to Fontaine, he came to say goodbye, and there I asked him if he considered his unlucky disposition bothersome. He just gave me a thumbs up and said, "The world is full of all sorts of people, and maybe I just happen to be the unluckiest. But thanks to that, I've also become the bravest person, and that's given me access to sights only I can see." What a brilliant way of putting things. Walking the path of misfortune with a big smile on one's face. Perhaps that's the spirit of a true adventurer.
That's right. Bennett's the most adventurous adventurer for sure.
If bad luck can be infectious, perhaps that adventuring spirit could be too. With any luck, the latter could spread far further than the former. I wonder, will this story give you enough materials for your report?
How did you figure that one out this time?
Where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what we say in Fontaine. It's said everywhere! If you really want to know about this story, you'd have asked the first time. But since you're only doing it now, I can only guess that my brother put you up to it.
So you really did know. You know, Paimon doesn't get why Lavier would have such a dim view on you. You're pretty smart, and you seem like a nice guy.
It's anger, I think. He's probably still mad at me for what he sees as a betrayal. What, that you went off to do a business that wasn't with him?
Eh? Betrayal?
Our family is well known for our skills in making clockwork devices. I've always been good at making toys of that sort, and while my brother isn't quite as good, he's got a real knack for doing business. Since we both love toys, we agreed that when we grew up, we would set up the best toy store ever. But it was only when we grew up that we realized that someone had to succeed the family business. That is to say, the shop. My brother had a big fight with our father over that, and he went to strike out on his own. I, on the other hand, was convinced to stay. And is that not a betrayal?
No.
I wouldn't think so. I can see how someone would think it, but I wouldn't call it a betrayal. I would see that your father would feel betrayed by your brother. Your brother just feels betrayed because you said, let's start a toy store when we get older. Which now he's mad that you're doing toys in the family shop, which means he could have been doing toys with you in the family shop while doing the clockwork all along. He's the one that's being ignorant. You didn't betray anybody. He betrayed the family. To which, if he wants to go off and do other things on its own, that's fine. But if he's acting like he's above what the family is doing and then does not want to contribute when he's basically just become the competition, then yeah, that's kind of problematic. Why do you want to go off and start your own thing when you could have made it work with your family? You know what? I don't know the guy's mind. I'm leaving it at that. Let's continue on with the story.
Does that really count though?
No. Well, it wasn't a show of adventurousness, that was for sure. I was afraid that if I failed to make a name for myself out there, I'd have come crawling back to the family business. I just couldn't take that pressure. What just started playing on my phone? For some reason, featured news stories from TuneIn started playing on my Apple Music. Wait, that means you erased where I was in my playlist. It was my watch. My watch started recording what I was saying for some reason. Now, of course, I always try to stop what it's doing, but I guess it caught something there and went to Apple Music and started playing something. Frickin'. I've always been like that. I'd be the first to cry when we encountered some hooligans on the streets, but my brother would have me get behind him with a, "Don't worry, watch me send them flying with my knuckle sandwich." I don't think those are supposed to send people flying.
Your relationship seems kind of complicated.
Welcome to relationships, especially ones with siblings. Well, I suppose that's how things played out. In any case, I'll be here if you have any other questions. You're always welcome here in my store. Yeah, the older brother has this complex about him. All right, let's run back over here, continue the story. Oh, look, the brother is here. Boss, our two guests have returned. Quick as ever, I see. I suppose you gained much from your investigations.
Huh? You know, Olivier, why do you always show up later?
Well, I suppose I am remiss. I shall strive to come earlier next time. Anyway, about that toy. You tell Olivier about Bennett. He frowns. A toy based on an adventurer named Bennett. I see.
And another thing, we didn't ask him, but Paimon thinks your brother didn't badmouth your shop. He doesn't look like the type.
Oh, how so? He seems to be sorry about something concerning you. You pass Kron's words on. Olivier gazes passes through you. It seems to be a place of indeterminable stances. After a while, a dissatisfied noise suggests his way out his chest. Why does it always go so freaking quick on the black screens? You ask me. I don't think that idiot would do something like that earlier.
Wait, so what is this whole contingency thing about?
The boss was just looking for an excuse, I suppose.
More likely than not, I say.
Well, he is a businessman. Businessmen have reputations to consider.
And he's the big brother, is he not? A big brother's got a name to uphold, you know?
Say any more, and you'll eat my knuckle sandwich. How old are you?
The fair is exactly what Karan said he'd be like.
Well, dear guests, I was just thinking that I should go pay that idiot a visit.
Well, are you going to put your differences aside and go ask him for advice then?
Of course not. But if he thinks he's betrayed me and feels bad about that, I shouldn't give him the opportunity to apologize to my face. Shouldn't I give him the opportunity to apologize to my face?
You did say that, but Paimon doesn't think that's the sort of betrayal someone needs to apologize for.
Well, it's decided. Arbon, there's no need for any further pre-orders. Return all deposits as needed. And keep that evaluation board. Boss! What, boss? So we're not executing the plan anymore? What about the data collection? There's still time to make adjustments. No, the data collection continues. I have other plans for that. And you've got payments to collect, don't you? I always do honest business.
Suspiciously honest in this case.
The boss is the boss, even when he is being stubborn. I wouldn't call his attitude towards toys completely worthless. I'll pay a visit to the horologies once the next 2 days of the data collection are complete. I'd like you two to come too, good customers. I've got some good things to settle here in the shop, so if you'll excuse me. I don't get what he's planning on doing next.
LeFeur's got such an odd temper. He's not going to ask for an apology, is he?
Well, would you look at that? Our third party has brought about an opportunity for change once again.
Third party?
That's the two of you, of course. Thanks to you, the differences between the two shop owners may yet be resolved. That's what happened previously, too. Previously? Aye. Have you noticed how the shop is separated from the horology by the Northland Bank? Ask the Northland Bank. Boss originally wanted to set the shop next to the horologies to compete with them directly. Now, I doubt that they knew about the boss's history when they reserved that space, but in some way, they became a mediator in the conflict, didn't they?
That's super interesting. The Fatui love to meddle other people's business, but this sort of meddling's a first for sure.
And that's the importance of the third parties, just like how a double act still needs an audience.
Well, what about solo acts?
Would things work with just one actor and one audience? What do you mean one audience? Like one audience member? Or just the same group of people over and over again? I think that would work. But maybe not. Wait, are you trying to betray me too? Then you better watch out for my knuckle sandwich then. Oh my gosh, grow up. Alright, so the third part of this whole storyline is done. And I just gotta wait 2 days later for more.
A few moments later.
You know, today's supposed to be the day when the VR's gonna go pay a visit. Let's go pay them a visit then. I hope there's not like real conflict happening over here. I see you're doing well, Karan. But brother, what are you doing here? We haven't seen each other in so long, and that's what you chose to say? I just didn't expect to see you come over. Expect you to come over to see me. I mean, our shops are quite close together, but you never came over. I thought you were still angry with me. I'm not here to talk about what happened before. I'm just going to ask you this. That adventure toy was made because of me, right? I knew I wouldn't be able to hide anything from you.
But wait, now Paimon's confused. Was that toy inspired by Bennett?
Ah, I see you two have arrived as well. I'm sorry for not explaining previously, but I didn't know where to begin. Although that adventure did give me critical inspiration, my brother was the real reason I insisted on having the toy made. I can see why it might be complicated for you. Karan, your mawkishness hasn't changed one bit. What is mawkishness? You haven't changed either, brother. I'm more and more convinced that you are and that adventurer are the same type of person. I don't have a vision, nor am I an adventurer. but you have the same adventurous spirit. Bennett lives in an adventure, while you live for adventure. Did you pick that flattery up from me too? How can that be? You've never been a flatterer. You've never hesitated to tell me that I haven't any fighting spirit. And while the truth is frustrating, it is true nonetheless. You've always been trying the best to be the best toy merchant ever, and I acceded to the family's arrangements, continuing the cycle of clockmaking. Only people like you and Bennett could turn their passions into their profession. I cannot. It would take 100 of me to match your courage.
Come on, don't say that about yourself.
There's no point in hiding this. When my brother first stated his intentions to move his shop next to mine, my first reaction was to consider moving the shop. Father would be ashamed, and rightly so. But in the end, Northland Bank took that spot and separated us. A happy coincidence again, you could say.
Yeah, Arbon told us about that.
Do you really think the world is so full of happy coincidences that the Northland Bank just so happened to come between us at that time? What do you mean, Levere? I had reserved that spot long ago, but a new idea struck me, and so I transferred it to them for a low price. This didn't just come out of nowhere, you know.
So you were the one that got them involved. Huh. Did you think that your previous decision was too impulsive or something?
Ever since I left, my goal has always been to be the greatest toy merchant. But what sort of greatness would that be if the family feud made my brother move away in the process, huh?
That smells like concern to Paimon. You were just making excuses when you said you wanted Karan to apologize, weren't you?
Apologize? What apologize? Did I ever say that?
Wow. That's a real earnest denial, considering that you actually did say it.
I'm here to congratulate you, Karan. That toy is quite well made. It's been such a long time since I last heard a word of praise from you, brother. I didn't think that. I've also brought you a gift. Here's the data I had these two adventurers gather over the past few days. This should help you create something even more interesting. Huh? Or were you going to make toy champion duelists? That data is important to you, isn't it? That plan's suspended. The market shifted faster than I thought, so some ad hoc adjustments will be necessary. But this data, how could I just take it? You take it when I give it to you, obviously. In that case, I'll take it. For safekeeping. Feel free to reclaim it should you ever need it again.
Huh? So Levier's other plan was to give the data to his brother.
I apologize, dear customers. I did not ask for your suggestions first before doing this.
Oh, it's fine. You paid us, didn't you? And this is your personal matter. This was totally worth it if your relationship with your brother can be improved, right, MC?
Our thoughts are aligned in this indeed.
Guess this was a successful third-party intervention. Oh, right. Levier, Kron, since we're all here, why don't you strike while the iron's hot and work together on something? You're good at making stuff, Karan, and we can have Levier do the advertising. If you do it as a team, it's sure to work out.
Appreciate your good intentions, but there's no need. I feel the same way.
Wait, so this is what you two are gonna agree on?
That Bennett fellow said this too, didn't he? The world is full of all sorts of people. So you did remember that part. The world is full of all sorts of people, and they all have sights that only they can see. If I learned anything from him at all, this would be it. Fran and I are different people, which is why we've set out on different paths. Perhaps he thinks that my path is too adventurous, and I, for my part, can't stand the kind of placid existence he leads. That's right. If the hour hand does the minute hand's work, it will get fired without compensation the next day. Is that a saying in Fontaine? If the hour hand does the minute hand's work, then it will get fired without compensation the next day. Well, that's because the hour hand is doing what the minute is supposed to be doing. If that's the case, is the minute doing what the second is supposed to be doing? If that's the case, what the heck is the second doing? And while intense challenges are an adventure, is a simple life not one as well? Everyone's on their own journey of adventure. So since we've each chosen our direction, let's walk down the path and seek our own unique sights. And I'll occasionally go meet with you. After all, your road will be quite difficult. Don't you worry about me. At least I know how to enlist third parties to help me out of jams. I didn't sit around waiting for these adventurers or the Northland Bank. Let me tell you that. And what will you do when there's a problem that even a third party can't solve? I'm sure you know how the stiffer a gear is, the less durable it'll be. I worry that, is that another frickin' saying? And if we meet, we'll meet. What else can we do, huh? That's just life. No, you won't be defeated by life, just like Bennett. And if other things prove otherwise, yeah, I'll send you flying with a knuckle sandwich. Rat, listen to yourself. Talking to your big brother like that. Don't get too cocky.
Well, if Lady Fiorina can sit at the judge's desk for a while, then a little brother can borrow his big brother's lines, right?
I see you're figuring us Fontanians out. I'd like to ask you something, so if you're free, let's meet outside my shop later. That's all I have to say today, Karan. I'll be heading back now. This storyline is just confusing, if you ask me. Kind of unnecessary, but I appreciate all the Primo Gems. Hey, Arbon and whatever other dude's name is gone. You're here.
Well, you seem to be in a good mood.
Thanks to your help. Speaking of which, Ron's trip to Mondstadt gave me an idea. Perhaps I should go travel around for a bit and find some inspiration for toys myself. You travel the world. You probably know some friends like that Bennett. You have any suggestions for me?
Well, we do have lots of friends, but when it comes to toy inspiration, that might be a bit tough.
Why not look for a third party?
Huh? We're a valid third party, aren't we?
Are you referring to Northland Bank?
Oh, you meant the previous third party. Oh, let Paimon think. The Northland Bank is under the Fatui, and the Fatui are under...
Are you referring to the Harbingers? Do you mean that we could make a toy themed after the Harbingers? Or Harbingers?
Huh? MC, do you mean... Oh, Paimon gets it. Levere, did you know that there's a very special Harbinger whom they call the greatest toy salesman in Shneznaya?
Man, I couldn't spit that out for a second. What? Is there such a person?
Of course. He's a real expert too. Maybe he'll inspire you. And you know, a toy merchant and a seller would make a pretty awesome combo, don't you think?
She's talking about Child, right? Thanks for your suggestions. They've been very helpful. I don't think it would be easy to get in contact with a Harbinger, but I do have some connections at the Northland Bank. I'll see what I can do.
Don't forget to invite us to try whatever new toy you come up with.
I will. Keep an ear out for news from me. And the Toy Word mission chain is complete, I think. Right? I don't think there's any more of it. Yes.
It is gone.
Well, I guess with that, wait. I gotta check the events. Event details. Okay, so just gonna say complete there. So all that is done, and then event shop. Exchange. Okay, so that's everything purchased. Well, I guess you could say with that, that would be it for this half episode. Come back next time for a regular episode, to which, here's something that I'll confess to. I was going to do Genius Invocation TCG and start up like doing that after every half episode, but I found this was extremely long, so no. Instead, I'm going to be doing a Genius Invocation TCG episode all its own after every even number episode. So everything that ends with a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, all those have their very own Genius Invocation TCG episode coming right after that, where it should consist of probably about 3 battles, maybe 4, but they'll be their own thing. They'll come out the same day as the episode that it'll be following. But yeah, I feel like I should get that started up as a series. I liked playing it a lot, and I just have not gotten back to it. So this is how I'm going to actually get back to it. So next episode will be Genshin Impact, episode 136. I don't know what's happening in it yet because I haven't played it yet as of recording this. And then about 2 hours after that episode comes out, the very first episode for the Genius Invocation TCG series on this channel will be released. So if you enjoy Genius Invocation TCG, look forward to that. Hopefully I won't be painful to watch, and if I am, hopefully I'll be interestingly painful to watch. But that'll be it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, deuces.
So I wrote it in the rhyme. The Reverend Doctor got an 8K, wet working. The roaches get the race spray. My weak rhyme, my body, your best verses on game day. I touch the crowns of self-entitled kings. You leave the heat like LeBron when I melt your idols' vital things. This is Malcolm and Martin, Million Man March in Sparta, mixed with a legion of angels surrounding sons and daughters. Simon Peter with a desert eagle, waving it at Caesar. So if I was you, I probably wouldn't mention me either.